Good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome to Pray First. How is everyone doing this incredible Friday morning? It is Friday, I think we're at November the 4th. My watch face isn't on the date face, so I'm not sure. But anyways, good morning. I'm so glad it is Friday. Come on in here. Remember, Pray First is a conversation that we have Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. This is where we bring the principle of giving God our first of our time, first of our energy, first of every part of who we are. Good morning, Leanne. How are you doing this morning? Good morning, Bonnie. How are you? So I'm excited. It's Friday. I was a little thrown off this morning because we switched around our work days a little bit. So I left early yesterday. So yesterday felt like Friday. It was a gorgeous day. My daughter and I went to Shelby Farms, walked our dogs. It was so much fun. And then last night we started, I wore my Christmas hat because my kids have convinced me that we are going to set up for Christmas before Thanksgiving this year. So today we're going to start pulling off all of our crazy Christmas decor. I do have to admit that with my middle child, most of the time it looks like Christmas threw up in my house, but that's fun. I mean, it's not always going to be like this. So we've got Christmas everywhere. How about you guys all? When do you guys decorate for Christmas? Do you do it early? Do you do it late? Good morning, Mel. Good morning, Sarah. Hey, Greg. Hey, Samuel. How is everyone doing this morning? You guys came in so quickly and I was talking about Christmas. I miss saying hi to you. So say hi or say good morning. Good morning, Sarah, so I can see you. See, when you're going live, what happens is your names will flip up real quick, like this person's joining, this person's joining. And if you don't have a chance to, you can't say hi. Good morning and belated happy birthday to my friend Sean Leonard. I hope you had a wonderful birthday yesterday. Hey, Anita, hope you're feeling better. I know, guys, the flu has been rampant in our area. How about where you guys are at? I mean, it's like knocking people out. It's been terrible. Good morning, Lana. How are you? Hey, Gail, how are you? It is so good to see everyone coming in this morning. Oh, you're on the road to Florida? Oh, that's awesome, Sean. Well, be safe. Have fun. Hopefully it'll be beautiful. Hey, Deborah, how are you doing? Good morning, Kelly Saldo. How are you today? Okay, so, we've been before I forget, see, I get so sidetracked this morning. And make sure you're hashtagging live, hashtagging recorded. Make sure you share this out. And I love that you guys always do the bouquet of thumbs up and hearts on the side to welcome our new visitors. Good morning, Michelle Edge. How are you? Hey, Gail. How are you doing this morning? I'm glad you're feeling better, Anita. That's good to know. Good morning, Barbie Shook. Is Dalton coming home soon? Miss your son. I hope you're having a good day as well. Okay, so I know I got to get started because, I think I could probably spend an entire 15 minutes just talking with you guys. But then I think the other pastors that are reading through the Bible Project will be like, hey, do your part. Just kidding, but sort of. We have been working through, reading through the Old and New Testament in the Message version. We are now in Jeremiah, and I have high hopes that we're going to conclude the book of Jeremiah today. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I know that Pastor Dennis left off in chapter 50, so I'm going to go ahead and start in chapter 51. There's more, God says, more. Watch this. I'm whipping up a death-dealing hurricane against Babylon, Hurricane Persia, against all who live in that perverse land. I'm sending a cleanup crew into Babylon. They'll clean the place out from top to bottom. When they get through there'll be nothing left of her worth talking about. They won't miss a thing. A total and final doomsday. Fighters will fight with everything they've got. It's no holds barred. They will spare nothing and no one. It's final and wholesale destruction, the end. Babylon littered with the wounded, streets piled with corpses. It turned out that Israel and Judah are not widowed after all. As their God, God of the angel armies, I am still alive and well, committed to them even though they filled their land with sin against Israel's most holy God. Get out of Babylon as fast as you can. Run for your lives. Save your necks. Don't linger and lose your lives to my vengeance on her as I pay her back for her sins. Babylon was a fancy gold chalice held in my hand, filled with the wine of my anger to make the whole world drunk. The nations drank the wine and they've all gone crazy. Babylon herself will stagger and crash, senseless in a drunken stupor. Tragic. Get anointing balm for her wound. Maybe she can be cured. We did our best, but she can't be helped. Babylon is past fixing. Give her up to her fate. Go home. The judgment on her will be vast, a skyscraper's memorial of vengeance. God has everything right for us. Come, let tell the good news back home in Zion. Let's tell what our God did, that our God set to things right. Sharpen the arrows, fill the quivers. God has stirred up the kings of the Medes, infecting them with their fever. Destroy Babylon. God's on the warpath. He's out to avenge his temple. Give the signal to attack Babylon's walls. Station guards around the clock. Bring in reinforcements. Set men in ambush. God will do what he planned, what he said he'd do to the people of Babylon. You have more water than you need. You have more money than you need, but your life is over. Your lifeline is cut. God of the angel armies has solemnly sworn to fill this place with soldiers. They'll swarm through here like locusts, chanting victory songs over you. By his power he made earth. His wisdom gave shape to the world. He crafted the cosmos. He thunders and rain pours down. He sends the clouds soaring. He embellishes the storm with lightnings, launches the wind from his warehouse. Stick God worshippers look mighty foolish. God makers embarrassed by their handmade gods. Their gods are frauds, dead sticks, deadwood gods, tasteless jokes. They're nothing but stale smoke. When the smoke clears, they're gone. But the portion of Jacob is the real thing. He put the whole universe together with special attention to Israel. His name, God of the angel armies. They'll sleep. God says, you Babylon, you are my hammer, my weapon of war. I'll use you to smash godless nations, use you to knock kingdoms to bits. I'll use you to smash horse and rider, use you to smash chariot and driver. I'll use you to smash man and woman, use you to smash the old man and the boy. I'll use you to smash a young man and young woman, use you to smash shepherd and sheep. I'll use you to smash farmer and yoked oxen, use you to smash governors and senators. Judeans, you'll see it with your own eyes. I'll pay Babylon and all the Chaldeans back for all the evil they did in Zion. This is God's decree. I'm your enemy, Babylon, Mount Destroyer, you ravager of the whole earth. I'll reach out, I'll take you in my hand, and I'll crush you there, no mountain left. I'll turn you into a gravel pit, no more cornerstones cut from you, no more foundation stones quarried from you. Nothing left of you but gravel, God's decree. Raise the signal in the land, blow the shofar trumpet for the nations, consecrate the nations for holy work against her. Call kingdoms into service against her, unless Ararat, Minni, and Ashkenaz. Appoint a field marshal against her, and round up horses, locust hordes of horses. Consecrate the nations for holy work against her, as king of the Medes, his leaders and people. The very land trembles in terror, writhes in pain, terrorized by my plans against Babylon. Plans to turn the country of Babylon into a lifeless moonscape, a wasteland. Babylon's soldiers have quit fighting. They hide out in ruins and caves. Cowards who've given up without a fight, exposed as cowering crybabies. Babylon's houses are going up in flames. The city's torn off their hinges. Runner after runner comes racing in, each on the heels of the last. Bring reports to the king of Babylon that his city is a lost cause. The fords of the rivers are all taken, and wildfire rages through the swamp grass. Souls are deserted left and right. I, the God of the angel armies, said it would happen. Daughter Babylon is a threshing floor at threshing time. Soon, oh very soon, her harvest will come, and then the chaff will fly. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, shoot up my people and spit out the bones. He wiped his dish clean, pushed back his chair, and belched a huge gluttonous belch. Lady Zion says the brutality done to me by done to Babylon. And Jerusalem says the blood spilled for me by charge to the Chaldeans. Then I, God, step in and say, I'm on your side, taking up your cause. I'm your avenger. You'll get your revenge. I'll dry up the rivers, plug up the springs. Babylon will be a pile of rubble scavenged by dogs, stray dogs and cats, a dumping ground for garbage, a God-forsaken ghost town. The Babylons will be like lions and their cubs, ravenous, roaring for food. I'll fix them a meal, all right, a banquet, in fact. They'll drink themselves, falling down drunk. Dead drunk, they'll sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep, and they'll never wake up. God's decree. I'll haul these lions off to slaughterhouse, like the lambs, rams, and goats, never to be heard of again. Babylon is finished. The pride of the whole earth is flat on her face. What a come down for Babylon to end up inglorious in the sewer. Babylon drowned in chaos, battered by waves of enemy soldiers. Her towns stink with decay and rot. The land empty and bare and sterile. No one lives in these towns anymore. Travelers give them a wide berth. I'll bring down on the glutton God Bel in Babylon. I'll make him vomit all he gulped down. No more visitors streaming to this place, admiring and gawking at the wonders of Babylon. The wonders of Babylon are no more. Run for your lives, my dear people. Run and don't look back. Get out of this place while you can. This place torched by God's raging anger. Don't lose hope. Don't ever give up. When the rumors pour in hot and heavy, one year it's this year, the next year it's that. Rumors of violence, rumors of war. Trust me, the time is coming when I'll put the no gods of Babylon in their place. I'll show up the whole country as a sickening fraud with dead bodies strewn all over the place. Heaven and earth, angels and people will throw a victory party over Babylon when the avenger armies from the north descend on her, God's decree. Babylon must fall, compensation for the war dead in Israel. Babylon will be killed because of all that Babylonian killing. But you exiles will have escaped a Babylonian death. Get out and fast. Remember God in your long and distant exile. Keep Jerusalem alive in your memory. Now we've been humiliated, taunted, and abused, kicked around for so long that we hardly know who we are, and we hardly know what to think. Our old sanctuary, God's house, is desecrated by strangers. I know, but trust me, the time is coming, God's decree, when I will bring down on her no good idols, and all over this land her wounded will groan. Even if Babylon climbed a ladder to the moon and pulled up the ladder so that no one could stop her, that wouldn't have stopped me. I'll make sure my avengers would reach her, God's decree. But now listen, do you hear it? A cry out of Babylon, an unearthly wail out of Chaldea. God is taking her wrecking bar to Babylon. We'll be hearing the last of her noise. Death throes like the crashing of waves. Death rattles like the roar of cataracts. The avenging destroyer is about to enter Babylon. Her soldiers are taken. Her weapons are trashed. Indeed, God is God who even things out. I'll end up with her just deserts. I'll get them drunk, the whole lot of them, princes, savages, governors, soldiers, dead drunk. They'll sleep and sleep and sleep and never wake up. The king's decree is his name, the God of the angel armies. The city walls of Babylon, those massive walls will be flattened, and those city gates, huge gates, will be set on fire. The harder you work at this empty life, the less you are. Nothing comes of ambition like this but ashes. Jeremiah the prophet gave a job to Seraiah, son of Neriah, son of Mashiach, when Seraiah went to Zedekiah, king of Judah, to Babylon. It was in the 4th year of Zedekiah's reign. Seraiah was in charge of travel arrangements. Jeremiah had written down a little booklet all the bad things that would come down in Babylon. He told Seraiah, when you get to Babylon, read this in public. Read, you, O God, said that you would destroy this place so that nothing could live here, neither human nor animal, a wasteland to top all wastelands, an eternal nothing. When you finish reading the page, tie a stone to it, throw it into the river Euphrates, and watch it sink. Then say, that's how Babylon will sink to the bottom, and stay there after the disaster I'm going to bring upon her. That's the end of chapter 51. I need a sip of coffee. I'm going to go ahead and get started on the chapter 52, friends. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, Corrine. Hi, Vicki. How are you doing this morning? Zedekiah was 21 years old when he started out as king. He was king in Jerusalem for 11 years. His mother's name was Hasmotel, the daughter of Jeremiah. Her hometown was Libnah. As far as God was concerned, Zedekiah was just one more evil king, a carbon copy of Jehoiakim. The source of all his doom to Jerusalem and Judah was in God's anger. God turned his back on them as an act of judgment. Zedekiah revolted against the king of Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar set out for Jerusalem with a full army. He set up camp and sealed up the city by building siege mounds around it. He arrived in the 9th year and 10th month of Zedekiah's reign. The city was under siege for 19 months until the 11th year of Zedekiah. By the 4th month of Zedekiah's 11th year, on the 9th day of the month, the famine was so bad that there wasn't so much as a crumb of bread for anyone. Then the Babylonians broke through the city walls. Under cover of the night darkness, the entire Judean army fled through an opening in the wall. It was the gate between the two walls above the king's garden. They slipped through the lines of the Babylonians, surrounded the city, and headed for the Jordan to the Arabah Valley. But the Babylonians were in full pursuit. They caught up them in the plains of Jericho. But by then Zedekiah's army had deserted and was scattered. The Babylonians captured Zedekiah and marched him off to the king of Babylon at Riblah and Ramoth, who tried and sentenced him on the spot. The king of Babylon then killed Zedekiah's sons right before his eyes. The summary murder of his sons was the last thing Zedekiah saw, for then they blinded him. The king of Babylon followed that by killing all the officials of Judah. Securely handcuffed, Zedekiah was hauled off to Babylon. The king of Babylon threw him in prison, where he stayed until the day he died. It is in the 19th year, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, on the 7th day of the 5th month, Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon's chief deputy, arrived in Jerusalem. He burned the temple of God to the ground, went on to the royal palace, and then finished off the city. He burned the whole place down. He put the Babylonian troops he had with him to work, knocking down the city walls. Finally, he rounded up everyone left in the city, including those who had earlier deserted the king of Babylon, and took them off into exile. He left a very few poor dirt farmers behind to tend the vineyards and what was left of the fields. The Babylonians broke up the bronze pillars, the bronze washstands, and the huge bronze basin that were in the temple of God, and hauled the bronze off to Babylon. They also took the various bronze-crafted liturgical accessories, as well as the gold and silver censers and sprinkling bowls, used in the services of temple worship. The king's deputy didn't miss a thing. He took every scrap of precious metal he could find. The amount of bronze they got from the 2 pillars, the seat, the 12 bronze bowls that supported the seat, and the 10 washstands that Solomon had made for the temple of God was enormous. They couldn't weigh it all. Each pillar stood 27 feet high with a circumference of 18 feet. The pillars were hollow, the bronze a little less than an inch thick. Each pillar was topped with an ornate capital of bronze, pomegranates, and filigree, which added another 7.5 feet to its height. There were 96 pomegranates evenly spaced, in all 100 pomegranates working into the filigree. The king's deputy took a number of special prisoners: Sariah the chief priest, Zephaniah the associate priest, 3 wardens, the chief remaining army officers, 7 of the king's counselors who happened to be in the city, the chief recruiting officer from the army, and 60 men of standing from among the people who were still there. Nebuchadnezzar, the king's deputy, marched them all off to the king of Babylon at Riblah. And there at Riblah, in the land of Hamath, the king of Babylon killed a lot of them in cold blood. Judah went into exile, orphaned from her land. Men of Judah were taken into exile by Nebuchadnezzar in the 17th year of the reign. 832 from Jerusalem were taken in the 18th year of the reign. 745 men from Judah were taken up by Nebuchadnezzar, the king's chief deputy, in Nebuchadnezzar's 33rd year. The total number of exiles was 4,600. When Jehoiakim, king of Judah, had been in exile for 37 years, evil Merodach became king of Babylon and let Jehoiakim out of prison. This release took place on the 25th day of the 12th month. The king treated him most courteously and gave him preferential treatment beyond anything experienced by the political prisoners held in Babylon. Jehoiakim took off his prison garb, and from then on his meals and company from the king. The king provided everything he needed to live comfortably for the rest of his life. Whew! All right, friends, I'm going to go ahead and end there at the end of chapter 52 in Jeremiah. Our next reading will start in Lamentations. That's an incredible book of the Bible. I really encourage you to hang tight and come on back on Monday for that. I hope you guys are enjoying this Bible project. I know it's different. I know we've been reading through this for, a year and a half now, getting through the message version of the Bible. And then, of course, it's interjected Wednesdays and Thursdays typically by Pastor Doug and his teachings. If you guys enjoy Pastor Doug, I know many of us are Crosspoint people. That is where Pastor Doug pastors. But if you're not part of Crosspoint and you want to hear further teachings of Pastor Doug, I know I've had a link before of all of his Pastor Doug YouTube teachings where he does Pray First, but he also, again, pastors Crosspoint Church here in Olive Branch, and you can always check out the website. It's crosspoint.online. If you go to crosspoint.online, there's a tab up top that says media, and you can listen to all of his messages at that point. We also have an app, CP Online Media, which, again, it's got a library full of all of his messages. So if you just can't get enough teachings by Pastor Doug, I highly suggest you go there. It's got the last several years. I think we started in 2020 or 2019. My years get all combined together. But anyways. All right, guys, you guys have an incredible weekend. If you're at Crosspoint, I cannot wait to see you on Sunday. We are having Go Out Sunday. It's going to be a magnificent Go Out. Our demographics this week and that we're touching is twofold. We're making sure we remember our veterans because next week is Veterans Day, so we're bringing special plaques to some veterans in some nursing homes around us. And the other demographics we're touching is the senior citizens, to make sure that they know that they are loved and they are not forgotten. We would love you to come along with us. We're doing a parade around the senior centers. That's going to be so much fun for them. And we're bringing them gifts. It's going to be a crazy fun day at Crosspoint. So if you're Crosspoint, it's 9:30 this Sunday. And remember, it's time. We're falling back. So set your clocks back, set an alarm, and be at Crosspoint at 9:30 on Sunday. All right, friends, I'm going to pray us out of here. Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you so much for our friends here, Lord. Thank you that they come on Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., Lord, to encourage each other, to encourage us. No spirit but your Holy Spirit. Have your way with them, Lord. Go with them, Lord. Help them to see and love as you do. It's in your precious name we pray. Amen. Okay, friends, you guys have a great day, all right? I'm going to go decorate for Christmas because my girls have been harassing me for the last couple days, so I'm going to do it. We're going to pull all the stuff out of the attic and start decorating. So you guys be safe. Sean, be safe in Florida. Can't wait to see you next weekend. You guys have a good day.